All right, joining us now from Long Island, where I am, but we're on opposing sides of the island, which is a good thing for the island, is Chris Cuomo. He hosts the program Cuomo. I wonder how long it took for them to come up with that name, Cuomo. And you could have had the Cuomo difference or the Cuomo. All right. Anyway, I'm on there, as I mentioned, on Wednesday with him on News Nation. Check it out. Before I get to the Democratic Party in the big picture, you would have asked Klain, well, what do you mean she's very successful? What has she done, right? Wouldn't you have?
Absolutely, you have to. That's the job.
Well, how Kara didn't do it?
Because it was a like-minded interview where Swisher, who has almost like an oracle effect for people center and left when it comes to business and increasingly politics and social matters, she was trying to plumb kind of within the realm of sympathy for Harris. I think it's hard to justify keeping Harris on the ticket, except that while it may not be fair to say every criticism of her is racist or sexist, you are going to have a problem if you take her off the ticket and you don't replace her with somebody that matches gender and race. The Democrats, especially the current Democratic Party, is going to have a real problem with that. But look, the idea of people seeking a friendly audience and getting different treatment as a result is not new and not going away.
Okay. You don't think it's racist and sexist to criticize Kamala Harris, do you?
No, unless you criticize sexist or racist.
Okay. Well, but do you believe Ron Klain really believes it's racist and sexist to criticize Kamala Harris, or is he just putting that out because that's what these people always do?
I believe it is part of the playbook of his perspective.
Okay. Very good, Cuomo. You're doing very well. I want to reassure you. You need a sip of water or anything? You're okay? You want to continue?
I'm busy. I feel
Okay.
uncomfortable.
All right.
Making it.
Okay, you're not sweating yet, so that's a good thing. So your family, Kennedy family, Cuomo family, icons in the Democratic Party, and you grew up on it. Your father was a moderate Democrat, in my opinion, my humble opinion. Your brother's a little further left because that was a tempo of the times. But the progressives have taken over the Democratic Party, in my opinion. Moderate Democrats, hard to find. Don't say much, even if they are moderate. Why or how? Maybe that's a better question. How did the progressives take it over?
Needs as perceived based on the demographics that keep getting them elected. I would question the premise, though. I think that my father was more of a traditional liberal. He always said he hated labels because he was he was like you know, in that he was a very sophisticated thinker. He was a student of history, so he was always running around definitions. But his programs were much more geared towards the needy and suffrage and focusing on that to a large degree and trying to rally people to that cause, even than Andrew. Andrew had a pragmatism and a balance to his politics that I think would actually move him more from the left to the center compared to my father. But be that as it may, Andrew's nowhere near left enough for the current party. And that has nothing to do with personal accusations and everything to do with perspective on the goal. The goal now is opposition and to prove that you are winning the argument because the other side is evil, and working with them is capitulation. Both parties agree on that. And that's not Andrew's thing. Andrew is of the Joe Manchin variety in that regard of being a Democrat, which is, well, I'm here to get things done. So let me figure out where I can get things done and get things done. Schumer used to be like...
And I'm not going to argue with any of that. I mean, your brother, as governor of New York State, worked with Trump. They came to a détente about COVID. They helped each other and on and on. But you still haven't answered my question, which is a brilliant question, Cuomo, and I want you to answer it now. Why has the progressives, why have they taken that party, the Democratic Party, over?
Well, sage one, I believe that if you have some of your copious staff review my answer, the first thing I said was that it is a function of the demographics they believe are keeping them in office.
Which is that so you feel it's just a matter of getting more votes. I would disagree with that, but say that's true.
Hmm.
You have a party now that basically is saying abortion on demand, no restrictions. This is the progressives, not the moderate Democrats. They're saying that you have to teach in school various things to children beyond their capacity to understand because this is the agenda that we want to impose. They will not, they are supporting Biden, who says, I am not even going to talk to the other party about the debt ceiling. You either give me the trillion plus that I want, or we have no conversation at all. We don't want any limits at all. This is just unrealistic stuff that harms the country. It's fanaticism. That's the word it is.
Yeah,
The
I don't
progressives are fanatical. Go ahead.
I don't agree with any of that. Um, I think that there is, well, I disagree with fanaticism, but I believe, look, fringe thinking is where we are. It's the nature of the game now, Bill. I mean, this is what people are doing. The left moves farther to the left to balance out the right, moving farther to the right in this battle of extremes and these notions of who is more in line with America, and they both lose because every time they poll the country, this is a reasonable country. This is a moderate country. This is a country that's more about pragmatism than it is about some profound sense of party. So on the book burning thing, I see all of these things as a battle of imbalance. Do we want kids who are young kids, grade school kids, being exposed to basically pornography? Of course not. It's not even a question. To Kill a Mockingbird, Catcher in the Rye, that's not pornography. That's something different. But it all gets jumbled together for advantage. And someone on the left will foolishly say, leave it to the teachers to decide what to teach your kids. And that's going to piss off every parent, because the idea that you're not going to have any say on what this school is teaching your kids, when every parent knows with young kids like my wife and I, that you are increasingly doing the work of the school at home because they're not doing what you need the school to do. We're lucky we're in a good public school, but we've had our struggles with having to fill in a lot of gaps. So I really believe it's hard to isolate one side when you're dealing with a toxic two-sided game.
All right. I see it much more dangerous on the left, obviously. But if you go back and you look at the 8 years of Bill Clinton, how he governed it as a moderate Democrat. He was a moderate Democrat, not Hillary. Hillary's a progressive. There's a big difference between the two. Okay?
Yes.
You saw that Bill Clinton basically respected what you said was the common sense of the American people. So
Yes.
when instituting welfare, he supported work rule. Now progressives
Yes.
don't want that. They don't want anything like that. They want massive spending to give money directly to drug addicts, to people who are irresponsible. They don't want to punish criminals. That's destroyed inner cities all over the country. They're so extreme. I don't know how you could possibly compare all of that to some right-wing people who, believe whatever they believe. And there's no consolidation of that right-wing thought where there is on the progressive front because of the media. The late-night comics, almost 90% of the network news people buy into the progressive agenda. You cannot work at the New York Times if you are not woke, Cuomo. You can't work there. Or for Jimmy Kimmel, or for Colbert, or for the Today Show. You can't work there. This is what is happening.
Right, I hear you. I get that. That's what you think. First of all, what works on late night TV is what rates well. So
But
if
they
it
don't
rates
get
well,
any ratings. They're all dying.
they get ratings. There's
No, they
stratification.
don't.
There's
The
stratification.
graph is like this.
I know,
Boom.
because of the stratification of the media. There's a
No,
lot
it's because
of
of them. Greg
Yeah, I don't
Gutfeld on a cable network beats all of them, okay, because he's moderately entertaining. They're
No, he is
not.
unless you are an extreme righty. He is a toxic little person. That's what he
A
is.
toxic little person? Is that what you just said?
Little.
I think you're
That's what-
taking him too seriously, Cuomo.
I-
Go ahead.
At all. Watch him, but that's what he is. But look, again, here's where you and I differ, okay? I don't see the imbalance. When I think about being co-opted by your fringe. I mean, look, the Republican Party that I married into, okay, that I have in my own family, amongst my relatives, it's not even close to existing anymore. And part of it is because of Trump, but I wouldn't give him too much blame or credit, or depending on your analysis. I think that you absolutely see a coalescing there. You see a quiet in the face of these extremists that they have in their ranks. That would have never happened.
Give me one mainstream. Now I'm not talking the kooks who are justifying the Capitol riot. Give me one thing in the conservative precincts that's extreme.
The kooks get to exist, and you put them on.
No, but I don't want the kooks. Just one thing in the conservative mainstream platforms that's extreme.
My first example is kooks can be on committees.
All right. I mean, that's pretty weak, Cuomo. Come on, man.
Really?
You can't give me anything? I gave you 5 on the left. You can't give me one? You're giving me committees? You're giving me committees?
Yeah, because they shouldn't be part of your representative sample of leadership.
All right, if that's it, I won the debate. One more question.
Example, because I can't believe you kick it to the side.
No, but you don't have an extreme example. What the right is doing now is trying to counter. This is Ron DeSantis' game all day long, trying to counter the madness on the left. That's what the right is doing. Okay.
By banning books and attacking Disney?
I don't know. Look, in my town here, there aren't any books banned. I don't know where they're banned. Tell me where they're banned. I'll go. Both of us will go and tell them to stop. No banning books. All right, last question, bigger question.
Either it didn't stop everybody from saying it. Continue.
The presidency of Joe Biden is the most leftist presidency ever. Nobody has come close in the Oval Office to him. I was surprised that he went that far left. Were you?
No, because I think he's doing what is perceived as necessary. I would argue that by your definition of government largesse, you'd have to look at FDR as the most left ever, but there were exigencies involved that created collaboration with both sides of the political aisle then. I also think that you're giving Biden too much credit for having such a signature administration. Other than him bringing a big deal of intellectual property, chip manufacturing to the Southwest, which you laughed off when he did it, but it is a very significant manufacturing move.
But this is small ball. I mean, the guy is a Roman Catholic, and he's saying, no, you can abort an unborn baby up to the moment of birth. I mean, that Obama would never have said that. Obama, when he took office, was against gay marriage. I mean, Biden is way out there on the left. Last word.
Evolved on that. No Democrat, as their official position, says, let's abort a baby right up until it comes out of nose and snake.
They don't want any restrictions. Biden doesn't want any restrictions on abortion. None.
Restrictions. They want Roe v. Wade, and Roe v. Wade had
restrictions.
It
doesn't have to do with that. It has to do with they want no restrictions. They want what New York has. Up until birth, you can do it. All right.
I agree with you.
We're going to be on your show on Wednesday, all right? And we'll have more big fun, as they say.
How much I love you, Bill O'Reilly. That I came on this.
Don't ruin my reputation, Cuomo.
Hold on a second.
Don't destroy me.
Everybody should do. O'Reilly barely tolerates my existence, and when I see him in person, it's only because I agree to be his driver and help him do his errands. So you're okay.
Yeah. All right.
We'll do a corner of my house and do this handheld because there's all this construction going on outside. But I did not want to blow the hit because you are too important to me. So it's good to see you.
I think it was a worthwhile conversation, Cuomo. And you're not sweating, so that's good. You got through it. Now you can go back to doing whatever mindless activities you're doing. And I'll see you on Wednesday, okay?
God willing.
Chris Cuomo, everybody. There he is.